Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another episode of Under the Pomegranate Tree, brought to you by Darul in Birmingham. My name is Atiq and today I'm joined with a very special guest, one of our ustads at Darul Ilm, Mufti Tammim Sahab from France. Assalamu alaikum Hazrat.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you for joining us.
Alhamdulillah, precious mine.
MashaAllah. I didn't do the whole introduction, Mufti Sahab, because I wanted you to just go straight into it, inshallah. Mufti Sahab, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, inshallah? So your time in France and what did you do?
جي نحمد ونصلي ونسلم على رسول الكريم أما بعد. First of all, mashallah, it's a great honor to be here. Mashallah, Mahasab. And I'm really eager to see how this outcome will be, inshallah.
Sure.
So I'm Tamim, and my full name is Tariq, Tamim Tariq. Right. Okay, so, and of course, excuse me, and guys watching us as well, if I'm breaking your English. I'm French, so I'll try my best, inshallah. So I'm, of course, I'm in Paris. Moved from India long ago, like more than 30 years now. And, alhamdulillah, so I did all my graduations and studies in France, inshallah. So, it's like small hills here, but we had the same type of, area where we grew up with a lot of, tough situations, to put it like this. But alhamdulillah, what saved us was tabligh.
MashaAllah.
Yeah, because, back in India, so I think the first time I go there, it was my uncle, rahmatullah alayhi, who brought me when I was like 4 years old. One day, my father he didn't see me, or disappeared. Because they were looking at me, and everyone was looking at me, but I wasn't, in fact, with my uncle in another masjid. I spent the half day with him, But when I come back here, I didn't know that tabligh was present in France. And when I found out, I said, okay, mashallah, it's something that I know. Let's go and try to benefit from them and get fayda from them.
Well, so obviously you were born in India, then you traveled to France when you were still very young with your uncle. You went to school and everything in France. In Paris, was that?
Yeah. Everything. In fact, so when I came, I was in primary school. So I was in the primary school, alhamdulillah, and then I did everything there, mashallah. And
then for what age did you link back into tabligh?
I was like 16 years old.
Oh, mashallah.
16 years old. We had a masjid, mashallah. It was like a melting pot. Every nationality was there. I think we counted like 40 nationality in the masjid. And mashallah, and the committee members, like rainbow colors, all different colors, from Arabs to convert.
Is that something common in France, like a multicultural masjid with multicultural committee members in there?
Well, at that time it wasn't. It was more based on your home country, right? So we had Algerian community, so they have their own mosque. We call it Algerian mosque. We even don't know the name of the mosque. We say Algerian mosque. And they have the Moroccan community, they have their own mosque. Right? It's like for them is to have their, a bit of their country.
Social hub.
Yeah, social hub, exactly. It's a bit of the country over there. And then our Turks brothers, they have their own, community center and so on. And then, anyway, Asians are really less in France, mostly our Arab brothers, Turkish, and and also from the Middle Africa, Senegal, Mali, and so on. So this is the most community in France, mashallah. And so we were all what's the beauty that I love there. Now I can recall what's going on here, is that we are all united by only one thing is Islam. And growing up with different colors, different customs, it just opens you up.
Yeah, it would have been amazing. I mean, it's hard to experience that over here. Alhamdulillah, we do have some masajids now which are quite diverse in the amount of people that go there and their cultural differences and backgrounds. But I suppose over here it's quite the same. People will go to their local masjid, which probably be run by committee members who are from the same place back home, and then the imams probably from the same place as well. So, okay, so you came from a Tablighi background in India, and then alhamdulillah you found the effort being active in
My area.
France as well.
Ji. Yeah.
And did you spend any time then in Tabligh? Was it
Yeah.
like locally, or did you go abroad or anything?
Well, yeah. So and then what happened is, mashallah, and we started to move, yeah, with the brothers, alhamdulillah. So whilst I was studying, so I was in my secondary school, mashallah, so I think I done secondary and then pre-college, right? Just till moments, mashallah, I was following the student tartib. So only one days a month I used to go, one jawla, and then try to give time every day as much I can. We're really strictly following the student tartib.
MashaAllah.
And at some point in time, mashallah, I met within this effort my first sheikh, mashallah, Shaykh Abdul Rahim, Hafidhullah, who, in fact, he studied in Ravent, in the Markaz. So, and then he taught us, in fact, tabligh in a whole different way, explaining, in fact, everything that we do, why we do, and where it's coming from. So that's the way that we start to learn. And these are my first knowledge that I'm taking as part of Deen. So, and then he started to, coach us properly, yeah. And we felt like, I remember with all my friends, we felt like, a lot of energy and motivation. We just, at that time we didn't have smartphone, whatever. So we come to her house and knock on the door, say, okay, it's time for Fajr, come on, let's go. So it's like just even I'm thinking I can, I see the heat of this moment, yeah. It was mashallah. And we had a masjid that gathered us, all of this from the full city. My city where I'm coming from is like we have 50,000 people, right? So, and then mostly Muslims. And within the city is like 80 plus nationalities.
Yeah.
So, and then within our masjid, like 40 nationalities there, so coming there, all meeting up, inshallah, and we started to have some endeavors in the masjid, try to make the masjid alive. Not only tabligh, but we used to have classes as well with some, some small tafsir classes on the last 10 surahs, for instance, tajweed classes. My first tajweed, we didn't know what tajweed means. At that time, we learned what tajweed is. And alhamdulillah, it all started like this. And, we pushed each other whilst we are studying to keep Deen. I remember once I came from a tabligh, from Jamaat, and then mashallah, the next day on Monday, I went to school. It was like pre-college, we say lycée, so it's just pre-college, 3 years, and then you have your, baccalaureate, and then you go to college, yeah. Then you have either 3 years or 5 years, or 8 years if you want to do PhD. So at that moment, I came, and I came to my school with Riyadh Salihin with me.
Subhanallah.
And then during because
it's secondary school,
yeah, it was more than this. I think it's high school. You call it high school, yeah. Because I was like 16, 17.
Okay, college, yeah.
Yes, college. You say
College
for us, it's more high school. Yeah, it's high school for us, because college is more university for us. So high school, subhanallah, and then what's going on? And I remember it was Ramadan time, and then as during lunchtime, there's a little, we are not going back home, because we are all fasting. So then I opened Riyadh Salihin and started to do Alim. Subhanallah. Because you should understand, France is a secular country, right?
I was going to ask, how was the response to that? What were your teachers and staff saying when they saw a Muslim kid doing Talim? What were you in the playground or in the classroom?
No, we're like, inside the college, not in the classrooms. We were like in my high school, it's like we have like a lot of stairs, in the heart of this high school.
Okay.
So usually when we have free time, we all sit over there, and it's like this,
Yeah, okay.
So we're all sitting there. So so I gathered my friends and we started to do Alim, but the other Muslims joined as well because it was Ramadan time. So they were more engaged.
The imams and the boost.
Yeah. So they were all gathered, and then I remember the we call it provisor, the director of the institution came. He said, "What's going on, guys? What you are doing?" I said, "Yeah, I'm teaching them good stuff, how to behave well." And he said, "Oh, okay, that's good. Carry on then." And he went, yeah. But he didn't know that what I'm doing, it was, because normally it's an offense. I shouldn't do this. Yeah, but, we are daring at that time.
Was the law against religious art items and things like that, was that already present at that time?
No. It was started at that time because I graduated from that school when in 2002, and this law was done on 2004. So 2 years after I graduated I went out of the institution. But at that time some problems started to come because we heard some problem other schools where they started to have to remove the scarf of our sisters and so on. So yeah, we're daring, mashallah, just to show you, how engaged we were. It was like another generation because I see now different. And then, yeah, continued like this, until I reached, subhanallah, university, right? And then, yeah, university, I went to Paris, It's a beautiful city, of course. Being in midst of Paris with all the monuments and so on, and every tourists are coming, and we are doing, our study. Even my building was a monument because the first research on nuclear science was done over there. So we had all the tools used by the scientists at that time, like 100 years ago, in the early 20th centuries. You can see it. Okay. Of course, they are completely cleaned, but normally it was radioactive because at that time they were even not protecting themselves.
Because they didn't know what they were
exactly. So a chemistry class, once you remove all the blackboards behind, you can see the lab, which they kept it like this as it was 100 years ago. So that's where we studied.
And is that what you studied as well?
First I started with physics, right? And then after physics I went to electronics and then computer science. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it all default. It's not like I had an endeavor behind or career to do. My father said, okay, you need to achieve something. I said, okay, alhamdulillah, I'm going to achieve something. So I just went like this, until I reached, let's say, a degree. Alhamdulillah, it's min Allah. But I reached that degree. But I made a lot of friends because it's an international environment. And we met a lot of friends from Africa, from some from Middle East, America.
Yeah.
So it's a super melting environment, And then when you go to lunch, it was we were in the ancient Roman stuff. I think
it must have been really another experience. Even though you grew up in France, it's probably you're in like another mini world now, full of academics and.
Yeah, no, you know what? It's today I'm benefiting from this. It just helps me a lot because we built their logic, how to deal a problem, how to find the steps to solve the problem, right? How to ponder.
Yeah.
They give us tools that can help, that today helps me in my own, what I'm doing today. And that's really interesting because the way how to, because we need to do theses, a lot of theses, oral exams, it's not like oral exam to 10 minutes, whatever, it's like 45 minutes. We need to do munaqasha, and they challenge you to why you have done this and why not like this, and there are 3 examiners in front of you, a lot of pressure because you have the list and then you have one guy, one by one, they're going, it's your turn, you need to show up to your presentation, defend your thesis, and defend your ideas on argumenting to them. So these are tools. For me, I take it as a toolbox. They have given us toolbox that we can use. Because honestly, after this, because for my final year, I went to abroad. Yeah. Okay. Because unfortunately, we are a bit weak in English over there. We learn English since like 10 years. Since you're maybe 13, yeah. until your graduation, so 22, you learn English as a second language, but you never practice.
So you're always being taught in French.
In French, yeah, everything. Even some of our books were English, but everything has been in French. But we don't learn English properly, yeah, meaning spoken English, let's say. Then that's why, and then I went to, my first, international experience was, I went to Netherlands.
Which is why you're still a student.
Yeah, Netherlands for 10 months, 10 months I was there. Over there as well, I met Tablighi people as well, mashallah.
There's no getting away from us. We're all over the place now.
Mashallah.
The effort has spread so much.
Yeah. So I was there, and remember, and we went to buy meat. I took my bicycle, and I traveled for like for a journey of 45 minutes. I come to the Muslim area to buy my meat and all the stuff, and then I meet the brother comes to me, Assalamu alaikum. I said, oh, mashallah, you're in Gasht. I said, yeah, Jawla, naam. And then I was like, alhamdulillah, happy, that made me, because sometimes when you're alone, shaitan works as well, nafs is shaitan, they are, working on you.
Yeah.
So meeting them was a booster, because it's like, you shouldn't forget what you're.
And were you still doing talim amongst your friends and stuff in university, or did that sort of stop?
No, in university we had an association, Muslim association. It's called Ibn Rushd, Averroes. It's called Averroes. It's called Ibn Rushd, in Arabic, I think, if I remember well. And we had so we used to provide services, like, past year exam papers. So we tried to collect all the past year exam papers, and we made a revision book, and then we used to sell it. So it's our revenue.
Okay.
And a lot of people, Muslims turned up, they take it, and then we make money with that, and then we help also, let's say foreign students who get, benefits and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So we're engaged there, and there we always to have tajweed class, Islamic class, and so on. But at that time, I was one of the teachers as well, because the sheikh that I said I met, this sheikh became my first sheikh, because he started to teach me, fiqh, tajweed, and all the basics of Islam. He taught us, and so at that time when I reached our university, I was like, ahead of many of the people over there. So then I started to teach over there. So I used to teach.
So I was going to ask you. So, alhamdulillah, you had a foundation in the Tablighi sort of background. So that sort of gave you a stepping stone and a way back in when you came to France. Then you had your own little community. Then you met your sheikh. You were able to study and learn fiqh and tajweed from a young age through those sheikhs. Is that common in France? Like, over here in the UK, we have like a masjid on every corner of almost every street, and there's loads of madrasas and makatibs over here. Is it similar in France, or do you have to travel afar to get the knowledge, or how common is it for somebody to find a sheikh and already know how to read the Quran and know bits about fiqh without being enrolled in a madrasa? I suppose what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So in fact, the nizam over there, the program over there is completely different than what we have here in the UK. And this fadl, here it's a fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And over there it's slightly different, because the population is mostly Arab-speaking population.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So for them, they won't say it's maktab. For them is Arabic class. That's what they call. So when we were young, we used to go to masjid to be taught, but we used to call Arabic class, because they only focus on Arabic language and Quran.
Okay.
It was barely there's a proper Islamic studies. We had some information, they give some basics, but it's not even they call it here sanatain. Even it was even not that.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So even at that time, even the fiqh that I was being taught before meeting Sheikh Abdul Rahim Hafidhullah, it was the fiqh that have been taught in my maktab in India. Yeah. So the issue that we have, and I think in some places is still the case, is we focus more on Arabic language than Islamic studies. Yeah, that's the problem that we have.
Is that because they feel as though once you get the Arabic language, then you have the means and the resources then to go out and seek the knowledge yourself? Is that their attempt at giving you the foundation for you to further your studies? Or is it just because there's nobody there to actually deliver those like fiqh topics or things on Aqidah or Ilm al-Kalam or anything like this?
In fact, there were some, mashallah, students, because many of the students, at that time, we had a lot of students who went to Syria to study.
Okay.
Because, alhamdulillah, it was okay at that time.
Yeah.
And, and also some others they went to, Hijaz to study. Some others to, Egypt as well. And then people were linked to Tabligh. They used to go to Pakistan or India to study. Right. At that time, there were even one brother who went to Deoband to study. Okay. Right. So alhamdulillah, there were people, and otherwise most of the people used to come from their home country. Yeah. So their home country, like Morocco, the imams used to come to Morocco. The problem is these imams, these A'immah, they were not able to speak French. So our Arab people, Northern African Arab people, as these Imam speaking their language, their dialect, so they were able to communicate. Us, non-Arabs, were not able to communicate. So that's why, in fact, learning Arabic was also easy for us. But no Islamic studies, honestly. That's what happened. Maybe it was what I witnessed within my surroundings. And wherever I went into Khuruj, we witnessed this. And even if we don't have rooms, now we have it because masjid is getting bigger. But before, it's the Jamaat Kana, we change it into madrasa. That means if we come on Khuruj, we need to only come on Khuruj when there's no madrasa. Because the madrasa is in the Jamaat Kana.
Yeah, it's a multi-purpose space and everything.
Exactly. And so we would never do this because we say this is the Shari'i masjid, so no one comes, no eating situation, no. We keep it, and then that's why we have separate spaces for this way. But there, it was everything on the same space. Sometimes we can see kids they would take the socks, they go to the toilet with the same socks, they do their whatever, they finish their job and they come back with the same socks. They will come and sit in the masjid. That was, you can hear a lot of in our community, yasiru la tu'asiru. Make it easy, don't make it difficult. Say this mentality is there, and so we make it easy. Even though we have Shibanis, like our old people, or in our, let's say, the old people, right? So those who came in the early 60s, 70s, so they were like harsh and on us, I remember one incident in the Fajr, we came by from Tabligh, from long away, so 3 hours away from our place. And we reached for Subh, but we had, after 3 hours of drive, we need to renew our wudu. But we got scolded off, said, you don't have water? Why are you coming to do your wudu here in masjid? Yeah, and it was like freezing outside. So then we went to, and then each and one of us, we went to another place, and because I had the keys, like an association place,
okay.
I had the key, so we opened that area. We went to do istinja, wudu, and so on, and then we prayed together in a separate place. They were so harsh at that time,
Is that because you were Tablighi? Or was that just because you were strangers?
Not like this, because in fact, so they wanted to avoid people, comes to, to come and to sleep in the masjid, without knowing, or sometimes it's like also at the end everything is cost, right? So, sometimes a masjid, they are really keen on not wasting their stuff, and especially and then there's some people, they are a bit special as well. Maybe they have some army background, so they are really tough on the rules, stuff like this. And but it's how do you say? It's but anyway, it didn't really block us because our brotherhood was so much that we were focused.
Yeah, I mean, when you go out in Tabligh, you're used to seeing challenges like this, and you hear so many stories about what happened with our Akabirin, and alhamdulillah, we get a lot of sabr from them, and we know how to deal with it, alhamdulillah. Okay, mashallah. So up until now, you've just been studying You made your way to university. Alhamdulillah, you've got that foundation in Tabligh, so you're always trying to learn here and there from any type of mashayikh. And then was that like the stepping point? Did you go into madrasa after that, or did you step into work and stuff, or turn to madrasa later? How did that?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because I remember after my, say baccalaureate, so it's baccalaureate, I don't know what you call here, I don't know whether you have
Like a bachelor degree?
No, it's not bachelor. It's just to have bachelor degree is like 3 years before. Yeah, it's like
okay.
A-level maybe. I don't know. Allah. So we need to have this in order to go to university so that you can do your bachelor degree and then your master degree and PhD if you want. So once I got it, I remember some of the friends went to study in South Africa at that time, right? So I went to my father and my mother. I said, okay, I want to go to study, in the madrasa. I'll come back, inshallah, and then I'll complete my studies because I have my, it's like a passport, this degree, because then you can go in any university if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever, even 10 years after you can come and then join the university is fine, because in France, education is free. Okay, you have some small fees, but it's nothing compared to what you can have. You can do your full, medical degree or whatever degree. It's going to cost you less, unless you're a foreign student. But as a French student, alhamdulillah, we have education free,
Okay, mashallah, that's good.
So
university students
yeah,
learning
I
over
remember at that time, 1 year of, in my science department, it's like 500 euros per year.
Okay.
It's nothing.
Well, that's a good thing, and for the locals, then I suppose.
Exactly. And and if you are, let's say, from rich background, maybe to go to 1.5K or 2K or something, it's nothing compared to what you get here. And the food is super cheap and stuff like this. Maybe now it's different, but at my time it was like this. And then, subhanallah, after this, I asked my mother and father, okay, I want to go to madrasa and study, either UK at the time, in Leicester, or in South Africa, or even in back India, back home, yeah. And subhanallah, it was because my family is not at all let's say I won't say Deeni, because he said they are all Deen, mashallah, but not let's say ilmi family. Let's say like this, right?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. We had Mufti Sibghatullah in here a while back, and he mentioned the same thing. He goes, we do pray, but we don't have the qadr or the respect of the deen to think that, okay, we're going to send our brightest and sharpest towards the madrasa. It's a case of, if somebody's bright and sharp, we'll set them up to becoming a doctor or an engineer or something like that. And if somebody is not that bright, we'll send them to madrasa. It doesn't have that.
Yeah, and it's in fact the case, because when I went, so they said, because my father used to say every time, we came here as we came here because we are not immigrants in France, just to make it clear, because we're coming from an area in India which is a past French colony. So we're all, let's say, French before even coming to France. Yeah, so we come here. And then, let's say, my father used to say, okay, I came here, I didn't study, I don't have a degree, I'm a son of a agriculture, so I don't know, I'm struggling here. So your only way of success is you need to finish your studies. It's not like one time. You used to do talqeen of this every day. Remember, تذكر فإن الذكرى تنفع المؤمنين. You were every day repeating it every day. Yeah. So I don't know whether it motivated me or not, but at least I think this had set a path on the mind. Okay, I need to achieve something.
You were like pre-programmed that I'm gonna have to go to education, go to university, complete everything.
So I came at that time. Okay, they said no, focus on your studies. So then once I finished my master degree, I went back. I said, now I must finish my master degree. Let me go now to madrasa. But Allah, at that time, you know how it works in our Desi families, right? So you have some, your family, and then you have your family back home, and they are in need. Yeah. Maybe they some stuff to do, some taqada over there. So then what happened? So all this came up at that time. So then I have no choice to go to work because I need to fulfill all these needs. Yeah.
So this is the second attempt now you've made to go to madrasa, but it's just not the right time for you.
No,
Okay.
it didn't work out. Yeah, and even I remember at that time, subhanallah, I even write down a letter to Deoband as well.
Subhanallah.
To ask them if it's possible I can come, but at the same time work as well. Trying to find a leeway. And I also wrote as well a email at that time to South Africa as well, and they said no. Either you are committed full time, otherwise it's not going to work out. I said fine, no problem. And then, but meanwhile, I was still carrying on studying Arabic and fiqh and tajweed and also learning Quran with my different shuyukh. I had first shuyukh. One of the first shuyukh was Shaykh Abdul Rahim, is a French convert who studied in Raywind, and I have second my shaykh in Arabic language and Quran was Sheikh Isa. He is a Portuguese convert, but he went to study in Syria.
Okay, mashallah.
So mashallah, he speaks his Arab levels is high, and then he used to do a lot of Arabic class with him, mashallah. And then I had another Sheikh Ridwan. He's Qari Ridwan, mashallah. He's from Tunisian background, but he's mashallah a qadim in Tabligh. And he went after Tabligh, he went to Syria to study, and then he got Hijaza in Hafs over there.
Okay.
So he come back. So then I used to do Quran with him, me and my brother, rahmatullahi alayhi. So we used to be there and do. And so these were our three shuyukh. And then had another sheikh, name is Shaykh Baghdawi, hafidhullah, but he was like our mentor, coach, everything, mashallah, because he was the one who can speak to the youngsters. So when we're in the masjid, he break the taboo, because he used to speak the issues of the youngsters. Whereas Aimma, they used to speak broader topics, but not, let's say, this taboo topic of youngsters that no one doesn't want to talk. And he was breaking the ice every time after Isha. He said, okay, oh my brother, you used to call, my children, ask me questions, I'm here. Whatever questions you want, it's open. And we used to ask all the funny questions, dodgy ones, and he used to, like a father, slowly and taking the time to answer, mashallah, hafidhullah, still, mashallah, alive, Algerian brother. But he went, he's a qadim in Tabligh as well. So these are my environment from Deeni side.
Okay, mashallah.
Whilst I was doing all my dunya studies and stuff, focused as like a obedient Indian, but here, this is my, core, whereas I got trained.
So your true passion lied as well, because you always wanted to go back to madrasa, didn't you?
Yeah, subhanAllah, at the end it's min Allah, honestly. I think it's min Allah. As you said, it was not the right time. Maybe I was not mature enough, whatever, but it's min Allah, right? Yeah. So then, mashallah, then I went to work, so class work. So, let's say, we say in French, métro, boulot, dodo. That means you take the metro. Metro is the metro. The metro. Yeah. Boulot is work. Dodo is sleep. So you work, right? You commute, you sleep.
That's it.
That's it.
And that's like the philosophy of most of the Western world over there.
Exactly.
Work until you drop, kind of a thing, and eat, sleep, work, and then repeat again the following day.
Yeah. So
then, so you finish your studies, and then what type of work did you go into?
Yeah, I started as an engineer for Airbus project. At that time, Airbus A380 was being the project launched. Let's say they start to sell the airplane.
Yeah.
And so I joined the project. And then they started the project A380. There's a new flight that everyone is buying now.
Okay.
So I worked on the GPS of the system over there. It was interesting. So it's my first project. We started everything from scratch. I'm just, it's an enjoyable moment. But all this was going on, working and so on. But I was still keeping with my, with my work of tabligh, mashallah. But the difference is we used to, with our sheikh, he has a lot of connections. So we used to every time, at least once every 2 months, we used to go for 3 days, but 800 kilometers away,
Okay.
That's because, that made us a lot of motivation, because we went to So UK, we came to UK, Leicester many times, Dewsbury, London as well, but not through Markaz, through our connections, yeah.
Okay, mashallah.
I remember we went in the Algerian mosque, Arab mosque in London, in Tabligh.
Subhanallah.
I remember
Without no route for Markaz, just
without Markaz noticing, yeah, we came here like this, and we went to Germany, and and we, northern part of France, in the Belgian border, and stuff like this. So sometimes we go like, it's a bit more too high in France, Okay, big, if you do big mudda, so big duration, you need to go through Markaz. But if we can sort it out our own journey, then it's fine. Markaz doesn't know. We go there and we do a step there, and then they find out that we did it, yeah. Because in the next mashura we tell, okay, we did this. Oh yeah, mashallah, that's good. Anyway,
okay.
So it was and we had Sheikh Yunus, mashallah, hafidhullah, our, let's say, one of the key mashura members. I don't know whether you have heard his bayan, but it just take your heart out and then clean it, put it back.
Mashallah.
So, his bayan is so much powerful. So because I was just living like 15 minutes away from the Markaz. So we had a habit every Thursday with the friends.
Okay.
We go to the Markaz. It's a small place, but a lot of barakah inside.
Yeah,
because the mashayikh have done a lot of dua over there. We go there, we sit there, we listen to Shaykh or other shuyukh over there, and then we finish by a kebab. It was our sunnah, every Thursday we were there. It's a because we just got the license and so on. So it was another with all the friends. I think we have 6-7 friends together. So we took a 7-seater, and then we go.
Mashallah.
And that's why I like this. So to show you that the environment was there, a lot of brotherhood. The shuyukh with whom we had to have class, like I think at that time it's going to be like, we had 6 hours of Quran, but split into two, and then an hour and a half of fiqh with Hazrat Abdul Rahim, and then like and 2 hours of Quran tajweed with Sheikh Isa. That was a bit mixed, And I just, and then there were many others, mashallah, who also taught us, helped us, guided us, mashallah, and jazallahu khair, all of them. It continued till like this, and at some point at time, I started to say, okay, it's good. I'm working, alhamdulillah, I'm successful there. But I said, okay, but my knowledge is okay, but I want to enter into something, they're going to shape me up, and then I go out, khalas, everything is in place, right? So this need started to grow in me, because more I do the effort of Deen, more the need of learning Deen better came. It's amazing, because many of the brothers over there, they say, no, don't worry, if you go in this path, Allah will open up, the knowledge will come to you, right? True, fine, but that's exactly what happened. The knowledge come to me, right? It's not like the fahm opened up, but first of all you need to have ma'lumat, right?
Definitely.
The informations, right? So so slowly, I think I started I think like after this I got married and so on, so but anyway it was on track like this, but my need was there.
Your family must have been happy with you. You completed your studies. You were working in the field that you set out to work in. Alhamdulillah, you're married now, settled. I don't think they'll put any itiraz now or any questioning now if you decided to join madrasa. So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. They said, alhamdulillah, you checked all the boxes now. You're on your own. You can do whatever you want. That's what it is. What they said, because for them, it's also the cultural stuff. Yeah, they want to secure, that their children have secured stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they don't stop you from going madrasa because they don't see the benefit in it. They want what's best for you, and they just feel as though, look, we left our home countries, we come over here. Obviously, we want to make money. We want to build a better future for you. In their mind, it's almost like you're taking a back step, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I know they mean well when they do stop us from doing stuff like that. But alhamdulillah, at least. Look, there's always khair in following the mashwara of your parents as well. And I think, you had this talab inside you, you had this desire inside you. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept, alhamdulillah, kept that alive in you throughout your, your setbacks and going to work and then doing all that. So then, how did you actually feel then, now that you had the freedom then to go and do what you've always wanted to do?
Yeah. So, at that time, I had more connection with UK.
Okay.
Because sometimes Europe Ijtima used to drive like 9 hours non-stop, come to Dewsbury, stay there. So I started to build connections, and we have some of our friends from France who came to settle in Leicester and Bolton. So it's so then we start to build. So I start to have access to ulama, which was not the case before. So when I came here, mashallah, we just spent time with the ulama. In Masjid Umar Leicester, for instance, I remember when I was there the first time I came. So, Allahu Akbar Kabira, look at the masjid, But it was like it was amazing for us.
It's like a palace compared to your little room.
And the first time I came to London East Mosque, the first time ever London East Mosque, I go to the toilet and all the stuff. I was like stunned, So, come on, how come? Subhanallah, we're in France, we're struggling, But now it's not the case. We are having a lot of stuff changed. But at that time, no, we were all on the grounds.
Yeah.
No. So now we are out. But before we were under the grounds. Yeah. So then, subhanallah al-aziz, this made me, even more talib, because when I met ulama, graduate of Bury or graduate from whatever that ulum, I was like, subhanallah, look at the adab, look at what they have. Okay, maybe I have met all the good guys, but look at the I was like in awe. And then we met one madrasa as well. We visited one madrasa in Leicester. It was by one of our alim, Arab alim who graduated from, I think, from Pakistan or India. I don't remember. And he had a madrasa here, where most of the students were Arabs. But in our model, right? In Leicester, I think, and they had some issue. They closed that thing, and we came there, and with the students of madrasa, because they showed us their program. In the weekend, they have swimming pool. They play football. Within the madrasa. We were like, subhanallah. For us, we were young. So for us, we only know secular educations. We don't know this apart from Afud Khuruj. So it was like discovery, and then all these guys were French speakers because they were all French guys. So we had a weekend there. It was really interesting, but it opened up more. So the urge was just big, until mashallah, I think I got married and I had my first daughter, and I think at that time, my first daughter, and then so, and a lot of reflection was going, and then I think with my wife, we were convinced, okay, let's go somewhere to study. Subhanallah, most of the main taqadah from your family side is done. So, let's go, inshallah, So, and then I started to think about, and then, so that's why at that time I wrote again to, I remember Darul Zadwin in South Africa. Yeah. I wrote to Dayuband as well, by email that, and then, I checked here as well, if it's possible to come with the family, but knowing that I have some commitment. So is that possible to have a part-time, that meaning I study, but I need to have time to work as well. No, same, decline. And, I don't have any issue with that, So there's some nizam we need to follow, that's fine. And I think in the Azadwil, they told me, bring with your wife, no problem, but put your wife also in the girl's side, so that she studies over there. Yeah, but
But you had a daughter as well.
So it was a bit, for us, anyway, it was non-practical because, it's another country and so on. So when you're settled, it's a bit hard to unsettle back and go in somewhere else and so on. It's a great effort, right? So I didn't want to put my family into this stress, of all this, because at that time she was alhamdulillah practicing Muslimah, but not into ilm as well. So alhamdulillah. So and then it was also the boom of internet and so on. It had only happened, So now the online classes start to really come. So not in Islamic side, but in the secular side, it was already there. So and then I said, okay, let's look for a Islamic online school, if there's something like this, then I'm going to join. Yeah. And at that time, I found one school, that was offering, in fact, a full Alimiyyah program, but it was from US.
The one in Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. So then I joined there. I was happy. I joined there, subhanAllah. I joined there. I started the class, I remember, and I used to, Allah Akbar. I used to, because it's US time, right? So, so it was evening time, US time, but for me it was like 2 a.m. in the morning, 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
So I used to get up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning, and then stay there for 4 hours doing my Nahu and Sarfa because it was level 1, yeah, first year. So doing all my gardans, all the stuff, and then and then I do Fajr and then I go to sleep. But the problem is I start at 9 o'clock, so I need to commute to go to office.
Yeah, so then it's going to be difficult, isn't it?
It was too tough. So I did it continuously like this, at least for the first semester. They have 3 semester. So I did the first one, but I was completely exhausted. My wife told me, subhanAllah, no, you cannot continue like this. You need to, maybe, as they have recordings here. So
if it's for 1 or 2 years, maybe, but you can't do the full dars in Nizami like that at 2 o'clock in the morning with half sleep. And
exactly.
Then expect to work and provide for the family.
But I was ready for that. SubhanAllah. Mentally, I was ready. But no, inshallah, I'm going to go to this. No problem. And because it's, I reached a moment now, I need to do class, whatever happens. And then it was on 2013 or 2013, yeah, 2013. So and then and I decided, after one semester, even my body was not able to follow up. So I said, okay, I'm going to go on offline. So that means using recordings, yeah. So usually at that time they used a platform called VisaIQ.
Okay.
Yeah, we used as well here before we switched to Zoom. So it's good to hear. So once they finish, a few hours later, the recordings are available. So you click on this, you can have. So then once I come back from office, I take my coffee, whatever, and then class, I connect and start to do my go through the recordings and start to work.
Okay.
So I did it for 2 semesters like this. But even though my level of Arabic knowledge at that time was already, because I already completed the Qadina books as well, and I have the other books. It's not like I had already like 10 years of studies, even though it's not like full time.
No,
but I had an average 4 hours of class.
You had a strong foundation.
Yeah. So for me, all this was already something easy, So I was, especially the only complex for me was the Gardan, because we didn't do like this. In Medina series, you don't do like this.
No.
So, but vocabularies, being able to, write a sentence, read a sentence, all this, mashallah, was there. But I said, okay, I want to do the full program. Like I didn't negotiate anything. And after this, so this program, but the timing was not at all okay. I said, okay, I'm not going to continue like this. So then I was looking into internet, to find another institute, which is in my, time zone, yeah, or maybe in or other time zone, which is easier for me, because if it's in India, for instance, then it's going to be early morning for us, so it's okay.
Yeah.
After Fajr, you can start, right? And then I found a institution called Sharia Studies. Yeah, I didn't even believe in it, because it is, the website was simple, and I don't know whether it's a scam or not. I don't know. I said, okay, and they said they were doing that, and that's in Nizami and so on. So I sent an email, but I didn't send an email in English. I sent an email in Arabic language. Fully the email in Arabic language.
MashaAllah.
To show them, okay, I'm not a debutant here, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So to show them that, it's not I'm starting from zero. I didn't get any reply, but I got a reply late. Sorry, but we started the year. We cannot enroll you. I think it was maybe Mufti Sahib, Allah Hafidhullah, I don't know, but I got the feedback. But after this, this site, disappeared. I think, and then they changed. It became Darul, Birmingham. So, and then, mashallah, I enrolled because it's my time zone, evening class. So I come from office, have a time to take a coffee, and then join, right? So I was so happy, mashallah, I remember. So I enrolled. There's one brother, mashallah, you met him maybe last time, Brother Samir from Sweden. So when I subscribed, he called me on, at that time it was FaceTime, I think. He called me on FaceTime. He called me, brother, I motivated, Mufti Sahib is like this, the madrasa is like this, mashallah, you really love, alhamdulillah, it's a good investment, you'll see. And so he started to motivate. I said, no, you know what, that's fine. If I'm enrolling already, so it's not like, you don't need to motivate me.
Don't just sell it to me. I've already bought in.
Yeah, so, but I said, Jazakallah khair anyway, because that confirms that it's not like, because online, you don't know really what is it, right?
Yeah, you gotta make sure you do your due diligence.
Exactly. Yeah. And the fact, mashallah, he called me, that reassured me, okay, there's something behind, there's something there. Because even Mufti Sahib at the time was, it was not like today, right? So, and then I started, mashallah, and then I remember, so I had then 2014 it all started.
Mashallah.
So I joined Darul Alim.
2014.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
After all the struggle, I started. It was a really amazing moment.
How did you find it, like studying then after so many years and of actually wanting to do it and now being fully immersed in the actual Dars Nizami with an actual teacher this time, without having to go to the videos?
Yeah, no, it was different. For me it was akhiran, when we say in Arabic, right?
You made it to the final stage.
It was like, I was so happy, now you can see me now. I feel it, I was so happy. I remember with my wife, we're there, I said, how mashallah, finally you're able to do this, right?
Mashallah.
So it's a amazing moment, and knowing and having this in front of me, knowing that now I'm in front of a scholar, who is well grounded, because at that time Mufti Sahib told me he has already 10 years of teaching experience. I think he started 2003 or 4, something like this. So he has already 10 years of have some tears coming up. It was 10 years already. So mashallah, and so my wife also, she was really happy, because at the end it's important to know that I would have made it possible here, made it possible without the support of the family.
Of course,
yeah, because they sacrifice a lot. Because I'm 8 hours of 9 hours, because as an engineer, I don't have hours. It's project based. We need to deliver. Then we need to deliver. If I need to work 10 hours, 12 hours a day, I need to do this because I need to deliver, right? So it's never I never know whether I'm going to come home at 6. Sometimes I was online with Mufti Sahib taking class, and I was commuting, and yet I have on my screen, and then my PDS following up, taking my notes. And Mufti Sahib then, when I ask you, I open the mic, excuse myself, but I answered him while sometimes I was commuting, and then he said, no, fine, I can hear that, I can still hear you, so make your sabaq. And then I do my sabaq, I stop. And then and sometimes you got caught because you go under the tunnel, and then you come back. It's a full organization that you do with you and your family, because without your family you will not be successful. And especially for people like me who are coming after having finishing their studies, being in the professional environment, and then now by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala coming back to do a full-time course, minallah, with the family, because if not, because they are those shoulders that you can rest on when you want to, because you're just sleeping without even noticing.
Yeah, of course, definitely. You can't, even though no one can do the work for you, you gotta do it yourself. Having a supportive family, and especially a wife that understands what you're going through, it is really, really important, and it lessens the burden then to know that you are able to just get on with whatever it is that you need to do, and people are understanding.
Yeah, And may Allah reward them for this.
I mean, I was about to say that, yeah. I mean,
because they are still suffering from this even now, because now I'm taking even more time for other stuff. They are still, doing the sacrifice. MashaAllah, may Allah reward them and give them, success. All the women, MashaAllah, who they are supporting behind their spouses, be it, because all the ulama behind, they have their family, right? So, and most of them, they are doing sacrifices, and sometimes we need to say, Jazakallah khair.
No, definitely. Credit where credit's due. I mean, we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for them, their understanding. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. And, even with my wife as well, like, may Allah bless her, sometimes she says, you needed to do this, but I already done it for you because I knew you were going to go and teach, or you had a class over here, or you had a dars over there and stuff. And alhamdulillah, this makes life a lot easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them.
MashaAllah, may Allah bless them.
So you started your Alimiyyah program, then you're doing it online, alhamdulillah. You completed that. Then you never stopped your studies. You done the Ifta program over here as well. How was the Ifta program with Mufti Sahib?
You know what? It's like once you opened up, khalas, And for me, the new world opened. Fully committed. And following everything Mufti Sahib saying, because I started at 6, I think 6 or 7, I just start until 11 o'clock p.m. I was with Mufti Sahib. At the time, most of the times Mufti Sahib had Maulana Walid Sahib as well, and Maulana Akbar Sahib as well, Qari Akbar Sahib as well, and then some others as well. But most of the time Mufti Sahib, he was teaching almost everything, Nahu, Sarf, everything he taught us. And so it's like, I was seeing more Mufti Sahib than my family members, despite being so much distance between us. He was here in Birmingham and I was here in Paris, but I was seeing him, but at the end of that first year, I think, I came here, because at that time there was no graduation yet, right?
Yeah.
So we used to have a conference. So we went for scholar conference, then we have food, naat, and all the stuff. So a normal conference with all the muqaddimah, and then we promote, mashallah, there's some promotion of the madrasa as well. Alhamdulillah, it's part of the nizam. And then the first time I came in Shaykh al-Hadith, Abdurrahim Limbada Sahib was there. I met him as well, a great scholar, and then we had a dinner at Mufti Sahib's house, So at that time, first ever I'm meeting Mufti Sahib. In person. We had a class together anyway, so he know me. But the first time meeting him, and we had a lot of discussion as well, because I told him my ahwal. I wanted to also let him know that it's not like it's not I'm here out of the blue, whatever. I have a background as well, so I wanted to know him that, okay, you can be in safe space with me. It's not like you're teaching me. I'm gonna go become, someone, Allah musta'an, So I told him, okay, this is my background, what I'm doing, keeping I do my imaniyat as well through tabligh and so on. And then what's up is he got reassured. Okay, now I know you and so on. Since then, mashallah, we have a good ta'alluq together, because because my education different, and that's why my relationship with the ulama, lot of respect, dignity, no problem. But I'm not going to indulge into, fake steps, right? If I need to ask you a question, I'm going to ask the question.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm going to think about the moment and so on. Of course, I'm not going to ask you the question in the middle of your bayan, of course. But it's not like I'm not going to fake it,
No, of course, yeah. It's got to be genuine, isn't it? Like a genuine affiliation.
When I say fake it, meaning the fake tawadu or something like this. Oh, yeah, no. I'm not going to ask the ustaz. But if you have a question, ask the ustaz. If you have, why you don't ask the ustaz? Oh, you have something secret, you need to keep it. No, his knowledge he's bound to give it to others anyway. So this approach, Mufti Sahib, I have it with Mufti Sahib since the beginning. Even today, I have something, I'm going to discuss with him, and so on, right and wrong, class. We discuss, he will say, okay, we'll do that. So he will give me other perspective, I'll reconsider. If not, he's going to take my perspective, Allah, and then we move on, so that we improve overall our process.
And may Allah bless Mufti Sahib, is very approachable like that. You know, sometimes it's difficult to have a casual conversation with your sheikh, with your ustad. But Mufti Sahib, alhamdulillah, is very approachable. You know, you feel as though you feel assured when you're with him that, you know, although there's definitely boundaries there that you shouldn't cross, they're sort of relaxed.
Yeah.
Right? He makes you feel very comfortable. And
Yeah. But after, let's say, like now it's going to be 2024, like 10 years of journey. So, you know, let's say we have some freedom that some others have not. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. But what is interesting is that at that time I met the madrasa. We were in the Medina Delights in the top floor in a small space. But it was, mashallah, it's a good beginning. But this is our first building before that I think they were in the house. Then the first building I was there. And then we moved to the Hamza supermarket, Mosley Road. After this, the college in front of the fire station.
Yeah.
And then, you know, alhamdulillah, here in this park.
Yeah, Mufti Sahib definitely had his own challenges in order to get the madrasa to where it is. Inshallah, we are planning on getting him on again to
Inshallah.
give us a full
He is going to give you all the details because I have my, let's say, my foreign details. Yeah, as a foreigner, my view is like helicopter view, what happened, because I come once a year, right? So, but once I come here and the whatever, you know, the bi'ah, the muhabba, you know, the ukhuwa, khalas.
MashaAllah.
You know, it was like a lock, you know. I mean, okay, you know, I'm gonna come here in every year. Yeah, that's the, okay. And of course, you have many other family, the qada and so on. But honestly, and that was my first time. And then, mashallah, we had Mufti Sahib. You know, like it's like sometimes it's like I'm going to dream about him as well. It was as close that I'm seeing it so much. And we had a wonderful journey together. And I had classmates as well. We had a good class. Yeah, because you know there was when they were, you know, when we started, there were brother, mashallah, who has good background from Saudi, but from Pakistan origin, but he's from Saudi.
Okay.
With good Arabic background. And there was another brother, mashallah, Mawlana Sharifuddin, mashallah, you know, he's from Malaysia, engineer as well, a good background as well. Yeah, he has already some studies and he had some books with the Shawafi Shuyukh as well. And then, you know, myself, and then there were some other brothers. Unfortunately, I'll recall all of them, but these are the mains that I recall. With the others who joined us later. And subhanallah, and a lot of munaqasha class, because at the end it's not like youngsters starting, they are fully blank. So now our asatidha were with students who were already some background. So we went to some intricacy of nahu and so on whilst we were just studying Arabic tutor, for instance. Yeah.
Even though you're studying basic books, you get exposure to things that are more advanced. And having some sort of level of background and having other students with their own experiences does aid that and help that, alhamdulillah. And that's the good thing I think about here at Darul Ilm. There's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of different methodologies which are being floated around, and they're also tied together very nicely. And a person can come out, graduate from Darul Ilm very well-rounded and have a lot of different ideas to bring to the table, alhamdulillah.
And yeah, even more so today, because now, alhamdulillah, I'm part of the teacher of Darul Ilm now. So we have teachers from a vast background. Those who are purely academic, since their childhood they have gone to maktab, hifz al-Quran, in Medina, you know, they have done school, and then they went to Darul Ulum, they studied there, and then they went to Ifta, or some others they went to teach, you know, so fully theoretical, let's say, pure background. And then you have also people like me, Mawlana Sharifuddin and so on, which are another background, which we did everything in dunya, right? And then we come back, we completed, and now we are here. So different perspective. So that gives for the students also a different view as well. Because we have students now like me as well now. Last time I was teaching, there was a doctor in front of me. Even now in 6th year, there's a doctor, mashallah, from Mauritius studying, right? And he's going to be graduate. And now we have another brother who is working in the finance department of the Australian government. So you see, we are professional in front of us. So we need to give them also, you know, the reality of the knowledge that they have by bringing them examples that they can face in their professional environment, how they can place their deen inside, right? So who's going to give this?
Well,
Someone who is 100% committed, mashallah, is going to give many other stuff. But this type of real feedback, he cannot, because you need to know this environment to provide. Yeah. So where I see my stuff, mashallah, my being a value add here, because I can relate to my work, what I'm doing, and what I see around me, to provide. Okay, how this masala can be applied over there. Right, that's what I usually try. So that's the journey now. So I went to, as I said, so I think even 2019, so for the graduation, but it's one in the COVID time, so I was not able to come.
yeah.
And then I did Ifta, because you know why Ifta I did? Because after this I wanted to have a break, because 6 years full of, on the last year it was COVID. We had like, I don't know, more than 50 hours of class per week or something.
Okay.
Because there was not so much class at the time.
Yeah. And because people are off work and things like that.
And we're in COVID time as well. So
and knowing Mufti Sahib, he would have capitalized.
Yeah, khalas, every time. And I think Dawra would have been completed without COVID. So difficult, yeah. So alhamdulillah, it was COVID, min Allah. So completed Dawra whilst I was in COVID at home.
Yeah.
And so completed, mashallah. And graduation, unfortunately, COVID was not behaving.
And then did you come the following year then? For the...
No, because it was still blocked. I think the year after I came. Oh no, I think no. After the end of the first year, Ifta, I came here. I came for the graduation, and then unfortunately, for my Ifta graduation, I was not able to come due to some family issues. I need to go to India. But alhamdulillah, but Ifta, in fact, is just because to answer the community. Why? Because in France we have mashallah, they have Tullab al-Ilm, but we don't have like Mufti like what we have here. You go, you ask, you do istifta, you go ask for questions, you get guidance and so on, counseling this. I'm not saying people are not doing this in France, mashallah, they are doing it, but when you go to ask the question, you don't never know what is the, let's say, what is the background of the person that you, unless it's a great sheikh,
Yeah.
it's different. But all the local imams, you don't really know their background.
Yeah.
Whether they are capable of answering this question or not.
I suppose it comes with confidence as well, and you want to be able to understand, okay, I'm going to go and ask somebody a question. From which angle are they going to be giving me a response? From which shuyukh have they studied under? Which kitabs would they be referring to? Things like this. Having that type of understanding, it does give you that level of confidence, I suppose.
Exactly. And then I said, okay, inshallah. So as I'm having this trouble, so we say in French, on n'est jamais mieux servi que par soi-même. That means, you cannot serve you cannot, the best way to serve is serve yourself. Yeah. So that's why I said, okay, I'm going to do my stuff. So I'm going to go to do Ifta. I will do this so that I'll be comfortable to give guidance and also give my background. I don't have any issue with that.
Alhamdulillah.
Because alhamdulillah, my shuyukh, and I'm transparent with my asanid. Yeah. Right? So and then there's a need. So it's like it started like this. But I did mashura with Mufti Sahib first, because I said either 1 year sabbatical leave, yeah, or 1 year, or otherwise I just go. He said no, go. And I started Ifta.
Alhamdulillah. So Jazakallah, thank you so much, Mufti Sahib, for sharing your story and stuff with you. What advice, so there's two things I want to ask. The first thing is, what advice would you give to somebody who's living abroad, like international students who maybe not have the access to the resources or access to a madaris? Number one, what advice would you give to them? How can Darul Ilm accommodate them?
So, yeah, what I would advise is, okay, alhamdulillah, in Darul Ilm, Birmingham, mashallah, in our madrasa, there's no excuse, in fact, there's no excuse to have, to not study. Because whatever time zone you are, we have a class for you. Yeah, we have, weekend Alim class, morning Alim class, evening Alim class, now your US time Alim class. So whatever time zone you are, you have Alim class for you. So in fact, what you need is just your juhud, your juhud and your determination. And once you have done you have determined mind to do this, and you prepare your juhud, khalas, we have a class for you. So what I'm saying, I want to say as well to the viewers is, be your professionals, alhamdulillah, and this is min Allah, but it will never bar you from becoming a talib al-ilm.
Yeah, so that was my next question, is like somebody who is in the corporate world, somebody who is maybe already working full time, got a family to look after, somebody that was in your situation, what advice would you give to that person who is, because I am meeting a lot of brothers now who have families, they got full-time jobs, they have loads of responsibilities, and yet they still have this desire and this want to do something in the field of ilm, in the field of knowledge, to try to gain some sort of lesson. What advice would you give to that brother then?
Yeah,
or sister?
Yeah, of course it's hard to start. Like any stuff, it's hard to start. Yeah, you want to start, it's hard, right? But when the engine is hot, 90 degree, now you're ready to go. You push the accelerator, it's gonna go, right? Similarly, to keep your engine at 90 degree, it needs time. It needs a lot of istiqama and sabr. Yeah? Because when you start this, the family will start to not depends on the background, but they can be supportive, they cannot be supportive. They even don't understand what you do.
Even if they are supportive, you're definitely going to experience some sort of challenges.
Exactly, because maybe the challenge will be your family. That's why I would say my advice, first of all, do mashwara. Ensure that mashallah you want it, make dua. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept you and then to put you in this. Make mashwara with the family and tell them the investment that will be required. Yeah, and make a proper routine, because once you have the proper routine, in this routine you give the time for your family, then stick to that properly. So this is the mashura. All others you give for the knowledge, and once this is established, you will see, you will not see it, because usually in our world, in the corporate world, we say to change your habit, you need to practice this habit for 21 days, non-stop. Yeah, some others say 30 days, whatever, but my coach told me 21 days. So once you have your timetable as a habit for 21 days or more, khalas, it's a habit for you. So you give your time for family, but it's quality time, right? It's a knowledge time, work time. But all is, you need to be minute in your time management. Once you do this, inshallah, you will be able to be successfully complete the 6 years, and also inshallah, serve your community for better future.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Really good advice there for those brothers and sisters who have got families who may think that this journey of Alimiyyah and Ifta is for youngsters. No, you can join at any time in your lives, whenever it suits you. Mufti Saab, from his story, you would have heard that he wanted to do it from when he was a child. However, certain setbacks, certain challenges he faced, and it just wasn't the right timing. Once he started working, got married, had a child, only then did he get the opportunity to do it. And now, alhamdulillah, he's serving his community in France, and he's serving so many students from all around the world who are joining our Alim classes over here as well. So hopefully I've definitely taken some inspiration. Hopefully everybody else at home can take some inspiration. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again for our future episodes of Under the Pomegranate Tree. Keep your comments coming. They are helping us in bettering our services, inshallah. Keep liking giving us a thumbs up and sharing to your friends, inshallah. Mufti Sahib, jazakumullah khair.
Assalamu alaikum, inshallah.
Okay guys, assalamu alaikum.